Welcome back, adventurers, to another tale from the world of Dungeons & Dragons. Today, we're diving headfirst into one of the most beloved adventures of all time, the Lost Mine of Phandelver. Our story begins in the bustling city of Neverwinter, where four unlikely heroes are about to have their lives changed forever. Let's meet the party. First, we have Kanyin, a human fighter whose stoic silence hides a will of iron and a blade that's just as sharp. He's a man of few words, preferring to let his actions do the talking. Next up is Tordek, a dwarf cleric whose devotion to his deity is matched only by his love for a good ale and a sturdy shield. He's the moral compass of the group, always ready with a healing word or a righteous swing of his warhammer. Then we have Ramble, a gnome druid with a mischievous glint in his eye, and a connection to the wild that's as unpredictable as he is. He's a whirlwind of chaotic energy, more likely to talk to a squirrel than a person, but his heart is in the right place. Probably. And finally, rounding out our quartet is Manger, the half-orc rogue. Now, Manger is special. He's as subtle as a charging owlbear, a ham-fisted giant who thinks stealth is just a suggestion. His attempts at being sneaky usually end with a loud crash and an innocent, bewildered look on his face. Our story kicks off when a mutual acquaintance, a dwarf named Gundren Rockseeker, hires this motley crew for a seemingly simple job. "Lads," Gundren says, his voice booming with excitement, "I need you to escort a wagon full of supplies from Neverwinter to the rough-and-tumble frontier town of Phandalin. It's about a 3-day journey down the high road and then east along the Tribor Trail. Simple, right?" He flashes them a toothy grin, his eyes sparkling with a secret he's not quite ready to share. "Meet my man, Sildar Hallwinter, in Phandalin. He's gone ahead to take care of some business. I'll pay you 10 gold pieces each upon delivery. I'm off to handle something more pressing. See you in Phandalin." And with that, Gundren and Sildar ride off, leaving our heroes with a wagon, 2 oxen, and a vague sense of foreboding. The party gathers their gear. Kanyin meticulously checks his longsword and shield, his face an unreadable mask. Tordek mutters a prayer, his hand resting on the holy symbol hanging from his neck. Ramble, meanwhile, is trying to convince a stray cat to join them on their journey, offering it a piece of dried jerky. The cat, unimpressed, simply yawns and walks away. Manger, attempting to secure the wagon, accidentally ties a rope around his own leg and nearly brings a stack of crates crashing down on his head. Tordek just sighs and shakes his head, using a simple cantrip to fix the mess. With the supplies loaded and the oxen yoked, our 4 heroes climb aboard the wagon. Kanyin takes the reins, his posture rigid and alert. Tordek sits beside him, scanning the crowds of Neverwinter with a wary eye. In the back, nestled amongst barrels and sacks of flour, Ramble is already fast asleep, a small, contented smile on his face. Manger, trying to find a comfortable spot, manages to get himself tangled in a coil of rope. Again, as the wagon rumbles through the grand gates of Neverwinter, the familiar sounds of the city fade behind them, replaced by the gentle rhythm of the oxen's hooves on the cobblestone road. The high road stretches before them, a well-traveled path leading south. The first day of their journey is uneventful. They pass merchants' caravans, traveling nobles and fellow adventurers, all heading to and from the great city. The sun shines, a gentle breeze rustles the trees, and for a moment, it feels like this will be the easiest 10 gold they've ever earned. Ramble wakes up around midday and immediately begins pointing out different types of birds to a completely uninterested Kanyin. "Look, that's a Neverwinter sparrow. And over there, a crimson finch. Oh, is that no, just a regular pigeon." Kanyin just grunts in response, his eyes never leaving the road ahead. Manger, having finally freed himself, tries to practice his lock-picking skills on one of their own supply crates. The pick snaps in half. He stares at the broken tool in his massive hand, a look of pure confusion on his face. Tordek, ever patient, simply takes the broken pick from him and offers him an apple instead. "Perhaps try this, lad. Less chance of breaking it." As evening approaches, they pull the wagon off the road into a small, grassy clearing. Kanyin immediately begins setting up a watch schedule. Tordek starts a small, respectable campfire and begins preparing a simple meal of bread and salted pork. Ramble wanders off into the woods, returning a few minutes later with a handful of edible berries and a friendly badger trailing behind him. Manger attempts to help by gathering firewood. He returns with an entire fallen tree, dragging it behind him and leaving a massive furrow in the earth. "I found wood," he declares proudly. Tordek looks at the tree, then at Manger, and just pats him on the shoulder. "Good work, Manger. That's plenty." The first night passes without incident. The second day is much the same. The weather holds, the road is clear, and the company, while eclectic, is manageable. They're making good time, and the mood is surprisingly light. They turn east off the high road onto the Tribor Trail. The path here is narrower and less traveled, winding through rolling hills and dense thickets of trees. The landscape is beautiful, but a sense of isolation begins to creep in. The bustling traffic of the high road is gone, replaced by the quiet hum of nature. It's late afternoon on the second day when things take a turn. As the wagon rounds a bend in the road, Kanyan pulls the oxen to a sudden halt. "Trouble," he says, his voice low and steady. Lying in the middle of the trail are two dead horses, both riddled with black feathered arrows. The party immediately springs into action.
If you enjoyed this tale, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more D&D adventures. Let us know in the comments what you think of our unique party. Until next time, may your dice roll high.